What if I told you that one simple daily habit, something you can do in under 10 minutes, can help your body activate its natural cancer fighting defenses even after age 50? No drugs, no expensive treatments, just a biological switch already inside you, waiting to be turned on. Your body is not waiting helplessly for disease to appear. It already has one of the most advanced defense systems in nature. Every second, billions of cells in your body are being checked, monitored, and assessed. Some of these cells are normal, some are damaged, and a few may become abnormal. But what most people don't realize is that your immune system is constantly acting like a surveillance network, identifying and eliminating potentially dangerous cells before they can develop into something serious like cancer. This process is happening silently, without your awareness, every single day. Specialized immune cells patrol your bloodstream and tissues like security guards. They recognize irregular behavior in cells, such as uncontrolled growth, genetic damage, or abnormal protein signals, and respond by destroying those threats early. In a healthy, well functioning body, this system is extremely effective. In fact, most abnormal cells never make it far enough to become tumors because they are eliminated at this early stage. The real issue, especially as we move beyond the age of 50, is not that this system disappears. It doesn't. The deeper problem is that it becomes less efficient, slower, and less responsive. This decline is gradual, so people don't notice it happening. It is not like flipping a switch, it is more like a gradual dimming of a light. The immune system still works, but its timing, accuracy, and strength can weaken over time due to lifestyle, metabolism, inflammation, and aging processes. As we age, several biological changes begin to interfere with this defense system. Chronic low level inflammation becomes more common, which confuses immune signaling. Damaged cells are not cleared as quickly. Cellular repair processes slow down. The communication between immune cells becomes less sharp. This does not mean disease is inevitable. It simply means the margin of protection becomes thinner and the body needs more support through daily habits. This is where understanding your biology becomes powerful. The goal is not to activate something that is off, but to maintain and sharpen something that is already working. Your immune system responds strongly to lifestyle signals. Sleep, nutrition, physical movement, stress levels, and even blood sugar balance all influence how effectively your internal defense network operates. For example, when your body experiences constant stress or irregular sleep, it produces hormones that can suppress immune activity. When blood sugar spikes repeatedly due to poor dietary habits, it creates an environment that encourages inflammation. Over time, these conditions make it easier for abnormal cells to survive longer than they should, not because your immune system is absent, but because it is distracted or overloaded. On the other hand, when you support your body with consistent healthy routines, the opposite effect happens. Balanced meals, regular movement, proper hydration, and good sleep help your immune system function more efficiently. It becomes more alert, more responsive, and more accurate in identifying cellular threats. Even simple habits like daily walking after meals improve metabolic balance, reduce inflammation, and indirectly strengthen immune surveillance. What is important to understand is that cancer prevention is not about a single dramatic action. It is about maintaining an internal environment where abnormal cells cannot easily grow unnoticed. Your body is always choosing between two states: protection and vulnerability. Every daily habit pushes it slightly in one direction or the other. So when we say your body already has a cancer defense system, it is not a motivational idea. It is a biological fact. The real question is whether your daily lifestyle is helping that system stay sharp or slowly weakening its efficiency over time. The difference is not made in hospitals or emergencies. It is shaped quietly in everyday choices that either support or strain your natural defenses. After you eat a meal, your body enters one of the most important biological windows of the day. Blood sugar rises, insulin is released, and your metabolism shifts into processing mode. What most people don't realize is that this short period after eating is not just about digestion, It is a critical moment that influences long term health, inflammation levels, and even cancer risk over time. When you remain sitting or inactive after eating, glucose stays elevated in your bloodstream for longer. This prolonged spike doesn't just affect energy levels, it creates an internal environment that promotes inflammation and oxidative stress. Over time, repeated spikes like this can damage cells and make it easier for abnormal cells to survive and grow. It is not a single event that causes harm, but the repetition of this metabolic pattern day after day. Now, compare that with a simple 10 to 15-minute walk after eating. Something very powerful happens inside your body. Your muscles begin to absorb glucose directly from the bloodstream without needing as much insulin. This helps bring blood sugar levels down more smoothly and quickly. The result is a lower and shorter glucose spike, which reduces stress on your cells and organs. This process matters because stable blood sugar is closely linked to lower inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the key biological conditions that allows disease to develop over time, including cardiovascular issues and certain types of cancer. When inflammation stays low, your body maintains a healthier internal environment where damaged cells are more likely to be repaired or removed efficiently by your immune system. A post meal walk also improves circulation. As you move, blood flow increases throughout your body, delivering oxygen and nutrients more efficiently. This improved circulation helps immune cells move more freely, allowing them to patrol and monitor tissues more effectively. In simple terms, movement after eating keeps your internal defense system more active and alert. Another important effect is on fat metabolism. After meals, your body is processing nutrients and deciding what to store and what to use for energy. Light physical activity helps shift this balance toward using energy rather than storing excess as fat. Over time, this helps reduce visceral fat, the type of fat that surrounds internal organs and is strongly associated with inflammation and metabolic disease. What makes this habit so powerful is not its intensity, but its consistency. You are not trying to exhaust your body or force extreme change. Instead, you are guiding your biology in a more stable direction every single day. A short walk after lunch or dinner becomes a repeated signal that tells your body, regulate blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and keep metabolism active. Many people underestimate how small actions accumulate. One skipped walk means very little, but years of sitting after meals creates a very different internal environment compared to years of light movement. The body adapts to patterns. If the pattern is inactivity, it becomes more metabolically sluggish. If the pattern is gentle movement, it becomes more efficient and balanced. This is why leading health researchers often emphasize post meal movement as one of the simplest yet most effective lifestyle interventions. It does not require equipment, planning, or special training. It only requires awareness and consistency. In the bigger picture, this habit is not just about digestion or calorie burning. It is about shaping the internal environment in which your cells live every day. A stable metabolic environment reduces unnecessary stress on your body, supports immune function, and helps maintain long term cellular health. So, a simple walk after eating is far more than a routine. It is a biological reset that happens multiple times a day. And over time, these small resets build a stronger foundation for long term health, resilience, and disease prevention. Inflammation is one of the most misunderstood processes in the human body. People often think of it only in terms of visible signs, swelling, pain, or injury. But the deeper and more dangerous form is what scientists call chronic low grade inflammation. This is not something you can easily feel. It doesn't announce itself loudly. Instead, it quietly operates in the background for years, slowly influencing how your cells function, repair, and respond to damage. In a healthy body, inflammation is a protective response. If you get a cut, your immune system sends inflammatory signals to help heal the tissue and fight infection. Once the job is done, the inflammation turns off. This on and off system is essential for survival. The problem begins when inflammation doesn't fully switch off and instead remains slightly active all the time. This constant low level activation becomes harmful over time. One of the major drivers of this chronic inflammation is modern lifestyle patterns. Long hours of sitting, Irregular sleep cycles, processed foods, high sugar intake, and unmanaged stress all contribute to a biological state where the body is constantly under mild internal pressure. It is not enough to cause immediate illness, so people ignore it. But inside the body, it is creating a slow and steady environment of stress at the cellular level. When inflammation becomes persistent, it starts to affect how cells behave. Repair mechanisms become less efficient. Cellular communication becomes distorted. Damaged cells are not cleared as quickly as they should be. Over time, this increases the risk of abnormal cell behavior. In simple terms, the internal environment becomes less controlled, and that lack of control is what creates vulnerability. This is where the connection to long term diseases, including cancer, becomes important. Cancer does not appear overnight. It develops gradually through a combination of genetic changes and environmental conditions inside the body. Chronic inflammation is one of those conditions that makes it easier for abnormal cells to survive and multiply instead of being removed early by the immune system. What makes inflammation particularly dangerous is that it often comes from ordinary daily habits. For example, sitting for long periods without movement slows down circulation and metabolism. Poor sleep disrupts hormone balance, which increases inflammatory signaling. Highly processed foods can trigger immune responses that keep the body in a constant state of alert. Even emotional stress can release hormones that promote inflammatory activity over time. The key point is that inflammation is not only caused by illness, it is often created by routine behavior. This means it is also modifiable. Small, consistent changes in daily habits can significantly reduce the inflammatory load on the body. Regular movement helps improve circulation and reduces metabolic stress. Balanced nutrition provides the body with cleaner fuel, reducing unnecessary immune activation. Good sleep allows repair systems to reset properly. One of the most powerful ideas in modern preventive health is that the body is always responding to signals. It reacts to what you do repeatedly, not occasionally. If your daily routine sends signals of stress, inactivity, and overload, the body adapts to that environment. If your routine sends signals of balance, movement, and recovery, the body shifts toward repair and stability. This is why managing inflammation is not about a single treatment or a quick fix. It is about changing the overall pattern of how you live each day. Even small habits like walking after meals, staying hydrated, and maintaining regular sleep times can gradually reduce inflammatory activity inside the body. These actions may seem simple, but their long term biological impact is significant because they are repeated consistently. The most important understanding is that inflammation is not your enemy by default. It is a necessary tool for healing. The problem arises when it becomes stuck in the on position. The goal is not to eliminate it completely, but to restore its natural rhythm, active when needed, quiet when the job is done. When that balance is restored, the internal environment of the body becomes more stable. Cells function more efficiently, the immune system becomes more accurate, and the long term risk of disease development is reduced because the body is no longer operating under constant internal stress. When it comes to improving health and reducing long term disease risk, especially after the age of 50, one of the most misunderstood ideas is that results depend on extreme effort. Many people believe they need intense workouts, strict diets, or dramatic lifestyle changes to make a real difference. But biology does not respond most strongly to intensity. It responds to repetition. Your body is not evaluating your health based on what you do once in a while. It is responding to what you do every day. This is where consistency becomes far more powerful than intensity. A small action repeated daily sends a stronger biological signal than a large action done occasionally and then abandoned. Think about how your body adapts. Cells, hormones, metabolism, and even immune responses are constantly adjusting based on patterns. If you occasionally exercise very hard but spend most of your time inactive, your body still recognizes inactivity as the dominant pattern. On the other hand, if you do something simple but consistent every single day, like walking, staying hydrated, or eating balanced meals, your body begins to adapt to that stable pattern instead. This is one of the core principles behind long term health. Adaptation follows repetition. Your body is designed to become efficient at whatever it experiences most often. That means small, healthy habits, when repeated consistently, gradually reshape how your metabolism, inflammation levels, and immune system behave. For example, consider physical activity. A person who goes to the gym intensely once or twice a week may feel productive, but their body still spends most days in a low movement state. In contrast, someone who walks for 15 minutes every day after meals is giving their body a daily signal of activity. Over time, this consistent signal improves blood sugar control, circulation, and metabolic balance more effectively than occasional intense effort. The same principle applies to diet. A strict diet followed for a short period and then abandoned does not create lasting change. But a consistent pattern of slightly better food choices, less processed sugar, more whole foods, regular meal timing, creates a stable internal environment. The body thrives on predictability. When it receives consistent nutritional signals, it reduces stress responses and improves efficiency in processing energy. Sleep is another powerful example. One night of perfect sleep cannot compensate for a week of poor sleep. The body relies on rhythm. Hormones that regulate repair, immunity, and brain function depend on consistent sleep cycles. When sleep is irregular, even if occasionally long, the body remains in a state of imbalance. But when sleep is consistent, even if not perfect, biological systems stabilize and improve over time. The same logic applies to stress management. One moment of relaxation is not enough to undo chronic stress, but small daily practices, like short walks, breathing breaks, or moments of rest, send repeated signals to the nervous system that the body is safe. Over time, this reduces the baseline level of stress hormones and improves resilience. What makes consistency so powerful is that it works beneath awareness. You do not feel the immediate impact of a 10-minute walk or a slightly healthier meal, but your body is registering these inputs continuously. It is adjusting blood sugar regulation, inflammation response, and cellular repair systems based on what you do repeatedly, not what you do occasionally. This is why many health experts emphasize building boring habits, not because they are exciting, but because they are sustainable. The goal is not to shock the body into change. The goal is to guide it gently in a better direction every day until that direction becomes the new normal. Over time, consistency creates compounding effects. A small improvement repeated daily for months or years becomes a major shift in overall health. Blood markers improve, energy stabilizes, inflammation decreases. The immune system becomes more efficient. None of this happens in a single dramatic moment. It happens quietly through repetition. So the real insight is simple but powerful. Your body is always listening, but it listens most closely to patterns. If your pattern is inconsistent effort, your results will also be inconsistent. But if your pattern is small, steady, and repeated daily, your biology begins to reorganize itself around that stability. In the long run, consistency is not just a strategy, it is the language your body understands best. Your health is not built in sudden breakthroughs, medical emergencies, or last minute decisions. It is built quietly, every single day, through small signals that your body continuously interprets and responds to. One of the most important truths in modern preventive health is that your body is always listening, but it is not listening to your intentions, it is listening to your habits. Every action you repeat sends a message to your internal systems. Your metabolism, immune system, hormones, and cellular repair mechanisms are constantly adjusting based on those messages. If your daily routine signals stress, imbalance, and neglect, your body adapts to that environment. If your routine signals stability, movement, nourishment, and rest, your body adapts in a completely different direction. This is why health is not an event. It is a continuous conversation between your lifestyle and your biology. You are always communicating with your body, even when you are not aware of it. The food you eat, the time you sleep, how often you move, how you handle stress, all of these are instructions your body follows. One of the most powerful examples of this is metabolism. When you consistently eat highly processed food, sit for long periods, and skip physical activity, Your body receives a repeated message that energy is scarce and movement is minimal. In response, it becomes more efficient at storing fat, less efficient at burning energy, and more prone to metabolic imbalance. On the other hand, when you regularly move after meals, eat balanced nutrition, and maintain consistent routines, your body receives a message of stability and activity. It responds by improving insulin sensitivity, energy utilization, and metabolic flexibility. The same principle applies to your immune system. It does not operate in isolation. It is deeply influenced by your daily environment. Poor sleep, chronic stress, and inactivity can weaken immune responsiveness over time. But consistent healthy habits send signals that reduce unnecessary stress inside the body, allowing immune cells to function more accurately and efficiently. In this way, your lifestyle becomes a regulator of your internal defense system. Even something as simple as cellular repair follows this communication model. Your body is constantly repairing damage at a microscopic level. Every day, billions of cells are replaced or fixed, but this process works best in an environment that is stable and predictable. Irregular sleep patterns, constant inflammation, and metabolic stress disrupt these repair cycles. In contrast, consistent habits help your body enter a more efficient repair state, where damaged cells are cleared and healthy cells are maintained more effectively. What makes this idea so important is that it removes the illusion that health depends on rare or extreme actions. Instead, it shifts the focus to daily behavior. You do not need perfect conditions, you need repeated good signals. A short walk after meals, regular sleep timing, balanced meals, and moments of reduced stress may seem small individually, but together they create a strong biological pattern. Over time, these patterns become more important than any single decision. Your body adapts to what you do most often, not what you do occasionally. That means even small improvements, if repeated consistently, can gradually shift your entire internal environment toward better health. This is also why prevention is so powerful. Once disease develops, treatment becomes reactive. But when you focus on daily signals, you influence the conditions in which disease would normally develop. You are not fighting illness after it appears. You are shaping the environment so that illness has less opportunity to form in the first place. In the end, health is not something you achieve once. It is something you build continuously through repetition. Your body is always responding, always adjusting, and always learning from your daily choices. The question is not whether your body is listening. The question is what message you are sending it every single day.